I guess I covered that stuff in the bad. I toss up whether that is the bad or the ugly, honestly. Like, it really depends on your capacity to suspend disbelief. And if you can suspend disbelief, then maybe the CGI doesn't bother you that much. And maybe a less observant person wouldn't have noted the Henry Cavill thing. And I guess maybe it's my knowledge of comics that makes me feel that some of that stuff is superfluous in terms of the characterization, and maybe it actually does need to be. But something that I think is just unquestionably the ugliest thing about this movie is that it is obvious that there are two directors. Now, Chris Stuckman, in his video, he actually did say that it was his positive. He was like, I actually don't think that you can tell that there are two directors. That is bullshit, mate. You must have been drunker than I was. Like, what are you thinking? You can tell there's been two directors. You can tell who is directing which scene. Like, that is how obvious it is. Because for whatever reason, they didn't even use the same cameras. Like, you can actually tell the cameras change. So I'm glad that they brought in Joss Whedon, even though I suspect that he's a fake feminist that just uses that to get with women. That's a side issue. Maybe that'll be a video later when the bottle's finished. But he is good at that kind of quirky shit and that kind of, the team dynamics. And we saw that with the Avengers, and he made Buffy as well. And I think there's potential there, and I'm glad that they brought him in. But why couldn't he do that stuff while still using Zack Snyder's weird camera shit? Like, it is blatantly obvious who filmed what. And you can even see the reshoots within scenes. So, like, when Evil Superman comes back, you'll be like, Snyder, Whedon, Snyder, Whedon, Snyder, Whedon. It's fucked. So it really, for me, and the thing is that has that flow-on effect, that then it does stop your ability to suspend disbelief, because you're constantly being brought out of it and you're constantly being reminded, oh no, I'm actually watching a movie. They do a little bit better with this, but I still really think that they made a critical error in not building the universe. And I get that they didn't, and when I say building the universe, what I mean is, so when Marvel didn't just come out with the Avengers, obviously we had Iron Man. I think we have Iron Man and Iron Man 2 before we had Avengers. We had Thor and maybe Thor 2, or maybe not. The Hulk movies had already come out, although they're slightly separate. So we already had the world building. And Captain America, obviously. Oh, how can I forget? My man. And the Captain America movies as well. So the world was well and truly established. You didn't need to spend much time on characterization because there was an assumption that you already knew these people, or if you didn't, you understood why the movie was the way it was. But I find with this is it's like DC were like, no, it's a moneymaker, let's move it forward. It would have been a moneymaker to make an Aquaman movie too. Like, have you seen Jason Momoa? Like, the people that are enjoying Jason Momoa in this movie are not necessarily comic book fans, and they would have gone to watch him anyway. Like, I just feel like they've actually missed out on more money, because instead what we've got now is DC is like an uphill battle. So one of my friends, I will not shame him by saying who, but one of my friends, he consistently messages me to ask me what I think about these movies, and then when I go, oh, it's good, he's like, I'm still not going to see it because they've been bad. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. On the other one hand, I'm like, okay, stop asking me. Like, why do you keep asking me? But I fully get it. He's like, why would I make the effort when they keep being bad? And why would you? Whereas if they built it, maybe they wouldn't have been as popular, but they would have been strong, and then the Justice League would have raked in the money, instead of what's happened where the reviews are kind of all over the place. I still think the biggest issue with this movie is that I really do think you actually need to have read a lot of comics to fully enjoy it, or at least to live with someone that reads a lot of comics. Like, I think my husband enjoyed it because he's kind of absorbed things from osmosis. Is that accurate? You can join in. You can say something if you want.
I don't even like comics.
He's just said he doesn't even like comics. Well, that's fine. That's why he only edits the videos. So, yeah, I do. That's in one hand, that's a criticism, but I actually love that they've just embraced that now, and they've just gone, fuck it, just make it for comic book fans. But I think that fans need to not get angry when reviewers are like, this is a bloated mess, because that movie, I suspect, would not have made sense if you didn't have the kind of comic knowledge that a lot of us went into it with. I just want to watch the movie and enjoy it. I just want to watch them blow some shit up and, like, cut somebody's head off. I'm a simple girl. That's all I want. Or like the Punisher, like, let's eye gouge something. But that's different universe. We'll do that video another day, or perhaps tonight. So that for me was, like, legit ugly. Like, that really affected my enjoyment of the movie. I don't like Zack Snyder. Like, I've said that many times. I want him away from this universe. I don't think that he's doing a good job. I do think, though, like I said, that the way he does the Flash works. So I guess that's something. He can do a Flash movie. Keep him the fuck away from Wonder Woman, though. And keep Joss Whedon away from Wonder Woman. And I've heard that he's going to do a Batgirl movie. That's unacceptable. Like, no. Do not let him do a Batgirl movie.